more ahead in our program at 5 o'clock for this Friday evening, including special wheelchair games and the Fringe Festival. A look at art on the edge of Southern California life after this. The LA Festival going on now isn't the only arts celebration in town. The Fringe Festival kicks off today with a more avant-garde type of entertainment. Channel 2's entertainment editor Steve Kometko is standing by live at the site of one of the more unusual offerings. Steve?
One of the more unusual offerings I've ever been assigned to report on, John. I'm next to the Harbor Freeway in downtown Los Angeles. I'm standing on a specially constructed stage that's on top of a parking garage next to a Steinway grand piano and an artist by the name of Sandra Tsing Loh. She has chosen to express herself by playing music for the commuters who are stuck in traffic on their way home. This is part of the Fringe Festival, called such because it's operating on the fringe of the LA Festival. Now, we can't exactly talk to Sandra right now because she is a works in progress, working on the piano, as it were. So we talked to her a little earlier. Sandra Tsing Loh has been playing the piano for 13 years. She's a student and a musician and composer and artist, serenading commuters today on a white 9-foot Steinway grand piano, playing her own original compositions in what has got to be some kind of a first.
It was my idea, and I've had this idea for about 3 years actually, and first it came to me as a joke. I was writing a play about struggling performers in Los Angeles and the lengths to which they'd go to have themselves seen. And so it started as a joke, but then I thought, well, why not do it?
Sandra seemed to be having a great time this afternoon rehearsing for her 5 o'clock performance. Even the great Horowitz never tickled the ivories from the top floor of a parking garage. Sandra says she thinks it's all very LA, next to a freeway and all, reaching a mass audience at the height of rush hour when it's massive.
I certainly don't want to cause any accidents. That's why I didn't really want to do it before the traffic is completely stopped, as it would naturally be on the Harbor Freeway northbound at Labor Day weekend. It would naturally be a parking lot. So I don't think I'm going to cause it to move any more slowly than it already does.
And Sandra continues to play. She started around 5 o'clock and will go till 6:30. If she wanted a captive audience, she's got one because traffic is stop and go on the Harbor Freeway right now. From here, the grand piano, the Steinway Grand, goes on to Dodger Stadium where it'll be used in the Papal Mass. And Sandra goes on to more conventional venues like her living room. Reporting live from downtown Los Angeles from the Fringe Festival, I'm Steve Kometko for Channel 2 News. John and Tricia, back to you now.
You've got it going on all 8 cylinders, doesn't she?
That's funny. The Diamond Lane Rapture is still ahead tonight.
Next up, a story of note about a woman who you might say is staying in tune with freeway commuters. Don't go away.
A companion to the LA Festival is the LA Fringe Festival, an event open to individual artists and small arts organizations. The first performance is a 24-hour art marathon with a different event each hour, most open to the public, free of charge. The 5 p.m. program was a piano concert for commuters stuck in rush hour traffic on the Harbor Freeway in Los Angeles. Unfortunately, few of the crawling commuters could hear the concert, especially if their windows were rolled up on their air-conditioned cars, radios blasting. The 24 hours of art continues until 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. I wonder what they're playing right now.
That wasn't Chopin, was it?
I don't think so. Have a nice weekend.
Thank you, Paul. You have a nice weekend, too. And
Good. And that wraps it up for Channel 11 News for tonight. We will all be back tomorrow night at 10 o'clock with the Saturday edition.
And as we turn you loose for wherever it is that you may be spending your Labor Day weekend, we looked for an unusual way to send you on your way. We think we have found it in the face and the music of Sandra Tsing Loh, drawing a lot of attention from billboards and others because where she's playing the piano is up on top of the Citicorp parking structure right next to the Harbor Freeway. She wanted to do this to sort of serenade rush hour motorists as they head home in the Southern California freeway system. Some of the motorists out there probably enjoyed it, however. Did this drag traffic to a halt, or did it give you the momentum to keep on going home? Well, only you can tell for sure. But was it the cause of this accident? We don't know, and we don't think so. That is it for us. We're all back tomorrow night at 10. Have a good Labor Day weekend. We are out of here.
It looks like it'll be lovely. If you are a struggling concert pianist, where can you go to find a captive audience to play for? Try high above the Harbor Freeway during rush hour, where hundreds of immobilized music lovers have no choice but to listen. Sandra Tsing Loh and her white Steinway Grand serenaded commuters this evening from atop the Citicorp building, helped out by an immense sound system. This gridlock recital is all part of the LA Fringe Festival, an offbeat alternative to the LA Arts Festival now underway. The Fringe Festival is geared more for those of us who don't have $90 to spend on a ticket to see a 9-hour Hindu epic, or people who prefer doo-wop to Puccini. The festival features 400 arts groups. All of it is free, and it lasts through October 4th. I love that up there. I wish I'd been downtown. I think it's great.
I love doo-wop.
The Pope will have quite an audience when he comes to Los Angeles, although maybe not the same kind of audience that one performer had around dinner time today. Thousands of motorists snagged in the rush hour traffic on the Harbor Freeway were treated to a piano concert this evening from the roof of a nearby parking garage. 9,600 watts of soothing melodies wrapped around skyscrapers and automobiles. The performance was courtesy of an artist and English instructor at USC, but why on the freeway and why during rush hour?
Well, why don't we go to where the audiences are? And so I was just sitting in traffic, and I mean, look, all these people are facing the same direction. They're bored. I mean, that's a natural audience out there.
The performance kicked off the month-long Fringe Festival Los Angeles, a series of cultural events scheduled all around the city. And for this one, we can say, as they say, only in L.A.
In L.A., and why not, huh? All right, well, that's it for a special edition.
Thank you. Thank you, Jude. Now for something completely different. It is hard to imagine the Harbor Freeway as a cultural hotspot. For a time today, however, the flow of the traffic appeared to be just that. Take a look.
It's safe to say it'd be hard to find a tougher or more transient audience. And yet, in the smoggy glare of the late LA afternoon, Sandra Tsing Loh managed to slow the flow with a lilting lament for the prisoners of the outbound rush.
There's any serious purpose to this. I mean, I'm not selling buttons, not making money. And I know I've been in the Harbor Freeway a lot myself, and my idea first started coming from people who would sell bags of oranges near the freeway, and I thought, wow, why not? I mean, they're standing right there. We're stuck in our cars. Let's buy some oranges.
The Fringe Festival, a month of offbeat performance and art, is what it is all about, and people in charge could think of no better way to kick it off than by serenading rubbernecking freeway riders.
It's a very Los Angeles art form that she's taken here. The piano on the parking structure, the freeway.
No strains of On the Road Again or By the Time I Get to Phoenix Today, rather original works with titles like Pony Softball, Anthill, and Theme for a 3-minute Opera.
I actually think it would be a good idea if, the government of California actually paid performance artists to do this. I mean, I know this would never come to pass, but, it would be a service for the commuters if they got performers to play at Gridlock.
While some grumble the distraction would lead to pile-ups and SIG alerts, Sandra Tsing Loh played on and on, her white Steinway gleaming in the setting California sun, her audience beeping and waving, no doubt wondering what all the fuss was all about.
Still wondering. That's all we got for you. Have a great weekend.
Yeah, but you weren't wondering in your car. You were safe. Have a very good weekend, everybody, and a safe one. Happy Labor Day.
Take it easy.
Bye-bye. Well, finally tonight, a scene that you would only find, I guess, in Los Angeles. A pianist, you think so?
I think so.
Look at this, you gotta see this. A pianist playing a Steinway grand piano atop a parking garage next to the Harbor Freeway in downtown LA. What do you think? Okay, Sandra Tsing Loh was part of the so-called Fringe Festival and performed original compositions for about an hour. Here's a sample. Have a good holiday.
That's it for us tonight. Thank you for watching. Good night.
Study and etudes. Bye-bye.
For 10 years, Two on the Town has taken you around the town and around the world. So join the special 10-year celebration starting September 21st on Two on the Town.
Johnny Carson. This is Ed McMahon along with Doc Sepperson and the NBC Orchestra inviting you to join Johnny and his guest, David Sanborn, the comedy of Bob Saget and consumer advocate David Horowitz. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here's Johnny.
There was a strange item in the paper today, and there was something on the news just a moment ago. Here in Los Angeles, they have some kind of an art festival going on called the Fringe Art Festival. And right now at 7th Avenue, which is downtown Los Angeles, there is a lady playing a grand piano, entertaining motorists on the Harbor Freeway.
Right.
Now, she wanted to go out on the center divider. Really. And Caltrans said, no, she couldn't do that. They put her on a parking structure overlooking the freeway. And she's playing the piano right now as I talk. Now, can you see people driving along? Truck driver says, bravissimo, at long last, Chopin. And she has a little yellow sign on her piano that says, pianist on board. The chives thing bothers me. And if you take the Harbor Freeway, she still may be playing. If she's playing on the freeway, she's probably playing Nearer My God to Thee about this time of night. I got one of those sweepstake letters from you.
Oh, yes?
for you.
And a local musician has a plan to take some of the stress out of driving the Los Angeles freeways when we come right back. Between the honking of horns and the screeching of tires, the noise on the LA freeways can intimidate many drivers. But there's one Los Angeles woman who thinks she can make the freeway sound a little sweeter. Here's her story.
Sandra Tsing Loh's open-air concert drew a small group of friends, but the real audience was just below her on the freeway. This is what's called performance art, acting on ideas. The idea here being that commuters on crowded freeways are bored.
I mean, I sometimes read in my car.
And besides, when you're stuck in LA's traffic jams, there's no escape.
Exactly, a captive audience.
Well, not exactly. It was a hot day. Air conditioners were on. Windows were up. Did you see a woman playing the piano?
No.
Are you sorry you missed it?
No.
Some at least saw the performance. What'd you think? Aw, everyone's a freeway critic. But there were a few smiles in the passing cars, and some actually turned down their radios to listen. Do you like that kind of music?
Well, for a split second, it's all right.
All Tsing Loh cares about is that someone appreciates it. She enjoys it, and especially enjoys the music she makes for cars. She composes for cruising and for cleansing. And maybe for just a few moments, she helped make the dreaded freeways a little bit easier to bear. Ann McDermott, CNN, Los Angeles.
Pleasant music and pleasant weather, too, to you.
Yes, the weather is great.
If you think all those ducks made for congestion, try the freeways of Los Angeles on a Friday afternoon. To pass the time, turn on the radio. No radio? No problem. Just roll down the windows.
Sandra Tsing Loh's open-air concert drew a small group of friends, but the real audience was just below her on the freeway. This is what's called performance art, acting on ideas. The idea here being that commuters on crowded freeways are bored.
I mean, I sometimes read in my car.
And besides, when you're stuck in LA's traffic jams, there's no escape.
Exactly, a captive audience.
Well, not exactly. It was a hot day. Air conditioners were on. Windows were up. Did you see a woman playing the piano?
No.
Are you sorry you missed it?
No.
Some at least saw the performance. What'd you think? Aw, everyone's a freeway critic. But there were a few smiles in the passing cars, and some actually turned down their radios to listen. Do you like that kind of music?
Well, for a split second, it's all right.
All Tsing Loh cares about is that someone appreciates it. She enjoys it, and especially enjoys the music she makes for cars. She composes for cruising and for cleansing. This composition is entitled Music for the Bonus Car Wash. Back on the freeway, traffic began to thin as the concert wound down, and Tsing Loh was pleased with the performance.
I'd have to say, honestly, that I think I do have guts to do this.
And maybe for just a few moments, she helped make the dreaded freeways a little bit easier to bear. For Good News, I'm Ann McDermott.